What's up, everybody? Today's topic on the Love and Marriage podcast is going to be entitled Losing My Religion. And let me just say, first and foremost, I do believe in God. I definitely follow Jesus, but I do believe that Jesus did not choose a particular religion that we should serve. I think that religion has been used in a way to scare people and make people succumb to fear. And just to quote REM, one of my groups growing up, losing my religion. It's always funny because I never, for some reason, like those lyrics have just been resonating with me lately. And just to quote them, when he said that life is bigger than you and you are not me. So the lengths that I will go to. And he said, I've said too much. And he said he hadn't said enough. And that whole point when he says that that's him in the corner, that's him in the spotlight, losing his religion, trying to keep up with you, and he don't know if he could do it. And it's like we have let religion in the society just keep our It's just crazy how people have let their religious views be used for evil. When we all know God is love, we all know who Jesus was and who Jesus was with. He was with the sinners, not the saints. We do know the church killed Jesus. So that in itself should tell you everything you need to know. I won't sway you one way or the other on either topic, but I will say that I don't believe that religion is what God is about. I think it's about the relationship. That's that has gotten me to where I am today. That has kept my brain safe and my sanity. That's healed parts in me and my soul and my inner whatever. The Holy Spirit has interceded in me to heal wounds that I've had that I couldn't put names on. So I definitely don't believe in religion. I know that a lot of people don't even go to church anymore because the church hurt and because there's so many people in the church filled with such judgment and judgmental behavior, and that people just don't even feel safe. I mean, a lot of people are hurt in the church. A lot of people leading the church are hurt. A lot of people that try to tell you how to be in church are not even living right themselves, but that's a whole nother topic. So, I mean, I could be all over the place with this discussion, but, just go listen to REM. He'll tell you everything you need to know in that. But let's just start off with a trending topic right now, Roe versus Wade. This started in 1973. This situation has been around older than me. I was born in 1977. This is obviously another one of a political rallying base. This issue could have been handled for over 40-something years ago, almost 49 years to be exact. So if they really wanted to resolve this issue, it could have been resolved. I'm not upset about it. This is something that, like I said, is just another one of these election things that they do. I mean, this stuff could have been rectified under so many presidents, so many things. I will say that through voting and through statistics, you can see why we are where we're at, and I'll leave that at that. I'll also say that this will not keep people from getting abortion. We do know that has never kept people from getting abortions. So there's that. I will say also that I do believe a woman should be free to choose. I do believe that, like most people, there are people that make careless decisions with their sex lives, but there are people that have to get abortions to escape things. I will share that I have gotten abortion to escape being I wanted to go to the military, and I will honestly say, when I was ready to go in and enlist, I found out that I was pregnant. And if you go to episode 1, you'll know that I was escaping a traumatic home environment, and to go in there and find out that I was pregnant, yeah. So I had to get an abortion. And I had to cross state lines. I had to go to Kansas because abortion at that time was illegal in Missouri. And there was picketers outside, telling me that I was killing my baby, and I was only 17 years old. But I went to the Army 6 days after I graduated, to do that. And it is something that has stayed with me. It is something that I regretted doing. And like I said, like anybody, there are people that get elective surgeries to save their lives, and there are people that get surgeries to just be reckless. You'll always be able to make that fight. But for most people to get an abortion and make that choice, it is not an easy choice. But it is because there's pain involved. There's things that happen after you have an abortion. It's a very uncomfortable situation, physically, mentally, and emotionally, and it's something that you do live with forever. So the fact that it is even up for debate on what a person should still be able to do with their bodies is just, but it's so typical. Isn't it? All I can say is this: I'm not going to get upset about it, because I know that, like most things in this country, it is a political agenda, like most things. It will still be able to be done. It was done back when it was illegal before 1973. So, whatever the reason for this is, nothing can be banned. Bans don't work. It's already been proven. Segregation, integration, gay marriage, go down the list of things that have tried to be banned. It has never been successful. It really is just a hateful thing at the end of the day. And people, as long as they're not disturbing your household, you should have a right to choose at what you want to do in your home and with your body. That's my take on that. On the losing my religion part, religion has just gotten out of hand. These churches, they're making so much money off of people's fear, even with just using the 501c with their LLCs and just tax-free this. And if you look it up, churches make more money than anybody. And they, especially in our community, the Black community, they are not giving back to our communities, and we are the main contributors to their congregations. Am I saying that church is bad? No, I was raised in the church. My grandmother believed in the church. She was raised in a generation where that was her hope. And I still believe in church. I believe there are good churches, just like there are good and bad in most things. But there are a lot of people that make profit off of people. Google it and see. I do believe that a lot of people can't relate. The regular man can't relate to church. That's why the church is on such a decline. I do believe that you are seeing more people now on the internet crying for help than going into the church to cry for help, because most of the people that are the fixtures on the stage in these churches cannot relate to their audience. They cannot relate to the people that are there. It's just a feel-good moment for a couple of hours, and then you go back home to the same problems. You get a card, you get this and that, and say, we enjoyed you, are you coming back? But these people never contact you again. And it's just really sad. Like I said, we grew up in the church. My grandmother believed in church, and her generation before, that is what we had to cling to. That was our hope. And I definitely believe in life. You have to have hope. You have to have something that carries you on. I definitely believe, like I said, in God and Jesus. And I know that God is good, and I know that God is my center, and I know that God is real. But what has become of the church and all, I mean, it's ran by man, so you have to do what you can with that. All I'm saying in this is that the religion and everything that's come of it and all the views that are forced on people is a divide. Everybody believes in everything now, whether it's crystals, whether it's Israelites, whether it's Muslim, whether it's Buddha, whether it's yoga. Like, obviously, we are all out of cohesion. There's aliens, there's this, there's everything. I mean, just go to the internet. It's just kind of all over the place. All I can say is you have to find your center. You have to find what works for you. But the most important thing is just to have a relationship with God, in my opinion. And to just not get upset on what you read on these headlines. If Roe versus Wade was so important, it would have been rectified by now. I mean, like I said, this issue started in 1973. Here we are, 2022, and we're still dealing with this. Like everything else, like voter rights, like everything else that we're still, like women's equal pay, like everything else. So you have to look at it. Why are we still dealing with this? Why are we electing people that are not handling the things, the promises they're made? Why do people that we keep electing keep giving us false promises? That's what the real issue is. Why do we keep putting people in office that give us false promises? Is it all just a bunch of falseness? Who to be mad at? Should we be mad? I don't think we should be mad at anyone but ourselves, because we're not making like smart choices, really. I mean, for ourselves and for our families. We're kind of going off of what the media is telling us, and the media, we know, picks and chooses. I mean, you could Google right now, like, you can Google why Roe versus Wade is good and versus bad, and you will only find why it's bad. And like, you cannot find an article why it's good, because the media will suppress that. Although there is another side of that opinion, but that is just, you have to always look. I always love two sides and two views to everything. Now, I've already told you my view. I think that women should have a right to choose what they do with their bodies, but also don't believe in suppressing sides and how you come to the equal arguments of both sides, intelligent arguments of both sides. So that is my thing on that. And just as far as religion, don't let religion like get you caught up in fear. If you really did research and all the books that were taken out of the Bible and all the books that were kept in and the purpose for those and why certain religions only use the beginning, the Old Testament to teach the fear part, and then they take the New Testament and wipe it away to add what they want to add to make fear into their people. Just like all these people on the internet that did the same thing with the vaccine, the same thing with the mask. They're going to do the same thing with this Roe versus Wade. Everything's fear-based, guys, and you guys got to not let that that's why you have to believe in God at the least. That has gotten me through. I've made it this far. If I can't dodge a meteor or anything like that, but I know that believing in this government, believing in the promises of politicians, do your duty. As a Black woman, I do vote because, yes, my ancestors fought for the right for me to vote. So I do diligence in that. My sons, they vote. They're both 18 and 25. So I do want them to exercise their rights. My sons vote how they want. My son actually voted for somebody I didn't really understand why, but he made his choice. And I let them. They're free thinkers. With that being said, do I tell them to like worry about whatever outcomes we get from that? No, because at the end of the day, you have to make sure your home is together. You can't be waiting on the government to bail you out from stuff. And you can't be in an uproar when the government doesn't do what they promised. And like I said, with this Roe versus Wade stuff, they could have been and rectified this if they really wanted to. There is no way that since 1973, older than me, like I said, I'm 44 years old, that they have not ended this. It could have been done. They only choose what is important at the time. And this leaked document, someone linked it. Like, guys, we kind of got to stop following for this stuff here, because we all know what's what by now. I mean, yes, we have more media access, and yes, we have 50 million news stations, 50 million apps telling you about news, and this 24/7 are at your disposal, and live and social media and all this stuff. But always use your eyes instead of your ears, because a lot of the stuff that they're saying is not adding up with what you're seeing. That's all I'm saying. Pay attention to what you see in the grocery stores. Pay attention to the medicine you're taking. Pay attention to the food we're eating and being served. Pay attention to how you feel physically. Pay attention to the air you're breathing, the water you're consuming. Pay attention to what is present and around you. And you can't do that if you're constantly watching the news all day and obsessing over what they're feeding us. You are what you eat, as they say. And listen to some REM. Listen to some George Freedom. He was trying to free himself back then. Yeah, he was suppressed by the man back then. It's sad that in 2022, George Michael will still be playing that. Poor guy. But that's my TED Talk for today. I hope you guys really, don't trip out about all this stuff, and really listen with your eyes and not your ears. Love and Marriage is out.